Often Republicans are among the first to point to Democrats when they say things that are ridiculous, untrue. Today, I want to do something different. I want to take a moment and actually thank President Joe Biden for something that he said over the last week. Originally, Biden ran for president under the idea that he was supposed to bring us together. And many of the people who didn't vote for him have felt like he hasn't really lived up to that promise. In a rare moment of truth, Biden was able to cross the aisle and publicly say what I think a lot of conservatives, independents, even a few Democrats have been thinking and feeling for quite some time. When President Biden finally admitted that there is no federal solution to the COVID-19 crisis, he finally came to terms with something that's been a core value of the Republican Party and distinguished us from Democrats in both principle and in practice: the idea of limited government. Republicans have built our governing policies, our platform, on the fundamental fact that there are limits to what the government can do, as well as limits to what the government should do. The COVID-19 crisis has highlighted this truth in an incredibly new way for all of us. We're a nation of many diverse states with different cultures, with different climates, different demographics. This diversity is our strength. It's not a weakness. Democrats have consistently governed in a one-size-fits-all mantra that just doesn't work, especially on a federal level. It doesn't work, first, because it's not as effective, and secondly, it tends to pit Americans against each other. We've seen this in Florida and New York. They've been on either side of this sort of seesaw where 1 month, one state is the worst case example. A few months later, it's the other, and it becomes an opportunity to point fingers at red states versus blue states. There are different states with different challenges, and they require different kinds of responses. Republicans have not only believed this principle, but have actually carried it out when we've been granted the power to do so. The best government is done on the most local level possible. Right here in Vermont, we saw Governor Phil Scott and Vermont Republicans in the House and Senate opposing a one-size-fits-all approach that Vermont Democrats were pushing regarding a statewide mask mandate. Nearly every Republican I spoke to consulted with their local leaders from their district, and they voted accordingly to oppose that local mask mandate. While Governor Scott signed the local option compromise bill, it's largely because he has to represent districts that our House and Senate members didn't. Places like Burlington and Bennington, who did want that option. But even then, Governor Scott limited the ability of municipalities to enforce these restrictions indefinitely. That's why the Vermont Republican Party is going to be better equipped to govern as we see a rise in the nature and the complexity of the challenges that we face in our state. Our philosophy of local control and respect for individual autonomy is going to provide better solutions that are customizable, more easily adjustable for the people of Vermont. So I want to thank President Biden and give him credit where we can agree. But there are some places where the federal government has no solution. Our Constitution was founded on the idea that the majority of power should be given to states and only a few essential services done at the federal level. If Biden continues to move in this direction, giving more freedom and power to states, he could find a lot of common ground with other Republicans, centrists, who worry that this extreme wing of the National Democratic Party has been leading us away from better government instead of a return to normal. But even if Biden doesn't, the Vermont Republicans are here, standing firm as we always have on local control and individual autonomy.